It really doesn't matter if you've been posting videos for 6 days, 6 months, or 6 years. The YouTube algorithm isn't necessarily keeping score. It only cares about one thing, and that is, will people keep watching your video? And when you upload 50 videos, and that's when it finally clicks and something takes off and you have a viral moment, that might feel like luck, but in reality, it's not. There are hidden settings, overlooked signals, and repeatable strategies that tell YouTube this creator, this video, is safe to recommend. And when you know how to use those, your channel isn't going to hopefully just get that one viral moment one day. You're going to be set up for consistent success as you keep posting videos. And that's what we're talking about today, starting with the YouTube algorithm's hidden logic. Because a lot of people assume that YouTube is looking at your entire channel and its history to decide what the heck to do with your videos. But in reality, it's actually every video that has its own little test going on. And this is good because that means if you do upload something that doesn't do super well, your very next video gets its own test of judgment to determine if it's worthy of being pushed out to more people. Now, I was actually asked to get a whiteboard and draw a diagram for this video, and I actually happen to have this very small whiteboard on hand. The first thing that happens when you upload a new video, it goes out to this audience right here, your core audience. These are the folks that already kind of know who you are, your subscribers, right? It's going to show it to them first and foremost. And assuming that video does well with your core audience, then it's going to push it out to the secondary audience. This audience is still the audience that is in your niche, right? They've probably seen some of your videos before. They've definitely seen videos from your competitors, and they are the perfect people to test it on next if your core audience is enjoying it. Now, on my channel, I kind of live here in the secondary category for quite some time, but every once in a while, I have a video that does so well with my core audience and my secondary audience that it goes out to the broad audience. And this is what everybody wants. This is when your video is suddenly going out to people who have never heard of you before and has that real viral potential depending on just how well it does in that category. So why does it work this way? Well, imagine for a second that you're YouTube and I'm a creator uploading a video to your platform, and you go ahead and you try that video on 10 people who've never heard of me before. They don't follow the thing that I normally do. They don't know who I am. And let's say all 10 of those people don't like me and my stupid beard, and so they click off and they leave the website completely. If you're YouTube, you're probably going to keep recommending your video because at the very least, people certainly don't want to watch it anymore. And at worst, they're actually leaving the whole website because my beard was that ugly. This is why YouTube works this way, because it is trying to make sure that if it's going to keep recommending videos, that you, the viewer who's watching those videos, is satisfied. This can be frustrating for small channels who just want to get some views and it feels like the algorithm is completely against them. But what's happening in reality is that YouTube is just trying to use this to build a little bit of trust first. And before I move on to the next section, I know there's going to be people pausing right here and leaving comments like, well, how do I even get a core audience in the first place? You see the little O there in core? That's, if you've never uploaded before, that's kind of where you are. They're gonna test your video. It's gonna take some time to build up your audience, okay? Everyone starts somewhere. Anyway, let's talk about how to make your videos recommendable. Getting your video recommended in the algorithm is all based on, like I said, viewer satisfaction. Every single time you publish a video on this website, that is yet another test. And really, that is the key to everything. It is simply just your content. People click on the video, they watch it for a certain period of time, YouTube can see that they're doing that, and now it has more of a reason to continue recommending that video to like-minded viewers. So you need to keep people watching as long as possible. And how do you make people watch as long as possible? You can use something called the viral loop framework. It goes hook, hold, and handoff. And to show you how it works, we're going to take a look at a YouTube creator known by the name of Nick DiGiovanni. Now, on paper, Nick is in the food and cooking niche, one of the most competitive niches on YouTube. But instead of playing it safe with recipe tutorials or restaurant reviews, he blew up by doing something totally different, mixing food with storytelling, challenges, and wild creative concepts. Take this video as an example, where Nick opens up with...
In this video, I'm cooking gourmet food for the most popular animals on the planet, and the longer you watch, the bigger and more dangerous the animals will get, all starting with this cute little rat.
That's not just a hook for food lovers, that's a hook for anybody, and it makes you want to keep watching to see what's happening next. That was the hook. Now the hold is when he delivers in every single scene. Rat, squirrel, parrot, monkey, bear, lion. Each step is even larger, funnier, and riskier than the last. That steady progression keeps viewers glued to the screen, waiting to see just how far he's going to go. Then comes the handoff. Instead of just simply ending the video, Nick does this.
This person eats the steak and not me, but this was the craziest video I've ever done. I just want to thank all of you watching and remind you to go subscribe and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. Because if you thought this one was good, just wait till you see the next one.
That wasn't just a throwaway line. Nick is attempting to start a binge session, and when your viewers binge, the algorithm takes notice. I should clarify though, you don't need to cook for lions to use this framework. It can work in all kinds of niches. In gaming, your hook could be something like, I'm gonna beat Minecraft without touching the ground. The hold can be the challenge kind of escalating as you go through the video, and the handoff could be your previous challenge that you did in Minecraft. In education, your hook could be a surprising fact, or that you're going to bust a myth. Of course, the hold is when you actually break it all down and walk people through it, and then the handoff could be a similar lesson on the same topic. In lifestyle or vlogging, the hook could be that you're trying to live without a phone for 7 days. Then the hold is that whole journey and the struggles you went through and everything you learned and all the cool new technology you used instead, with the handoff being another experiment that you're going to try. When you can pull that off consistently, the algorithm isn't just recommending your videos, it's recommending you, the creator. But let's think of all of this as the algorithm's favorite chain reaction. If YouTube is indeed testing every single upload, then what's the signal that makes your video safe to recommend? It's not just about how long they watch, it's what they do after. And that's the thing, because your binge session that you're hoping to set up doesn't necessarily have to happen on your channel. You also get points if people go to another video on YouTube. It's called session time or session watch time, and it's one of the strongest signals the YouTube algorithm is looking at. I teased it before, but if you watch a video and then you hated it so much that it ended your entire session on YouTube that day, then the algorithm is going to take notice. But if your video can start a chain where somebody watches it and then they watch another video and then another video, that is a very strong signal to YouTube that, hey, this video is really something. It opens the door wider, and YouTube now sees you as a creator who has good retention, and you are here to fuel the ecosystem that is YouTube. But let's take a look at TD Briggs, who is in the Lego niche, which you might think could get a bit repetitive. But they actually have a pretty interesting strategy. Instead of just things like one-off build videos, you can see that they've built a chain, such as when they do Lego tricks, 100 Lego tricks you missed, 200 IQ minifigure trick, illegal Lego builds. Each title doesn't just attract clicks on its own, but the videos themselves make you want to continue watching more of them. They double down on this with playlists too. All of the Lego tricks videos are in a playlist, and so if somebody can get into that flow where they watch maybe several of them at a time, now that session watch time has been spent on TD Briggs' channel, the algorithm takes notice to that too. They have now dove really deep into the channel, and the next time they log on to YouTube, they are absolutely seeing a TD Briggs video at the top of their YouTube recommended feed. Unless, of course, they end up watching like all of them in one sitting. Now, context is another very important factor when it comes to getting recommended on YouTube. This is a very underrated reason videos get recommended, but it's not just about what you post. In certain cases, it's about when you post it. Think of it this way, the algorithm is just made up of people, and people aren't static. We react to cultural moments, seasonal shifts, and trending news stories. It's not always easy, but if you can connect your content to something that's going on that people are really interested in right now, your recommendations will absolutely skyrocket. Take Babish's short ribs from The Bear. It may look like just another cooking tutorial, but because The Bear has exploded in popularity, people weren't just looking for recipes, they wanted that recipe. Suddenly this video wasn't for just foodies, it was also for fans of the show. The algorithm picked up on that overlap of interests, saw that people were still watching, and then was able to continue recommending that video more and more. That's the power of timing. You're not fighting the algorithm, you're letting it pull you along. It helps to remember that the word algorithm at any moment in your brain can be replaced with the word audience. And when you do that, and you remember that it's just people and what they're interested in right now, it's a lot easier to kind of figure out how to jump on these trends. You don't have to be making recipes from a popular TV show. If you're in the gaming niche, you can cover a big update in the game that you play. In education, if you're seeing people get something wrong about a scientific anomaly, go ahead and set the record straight. For lifestyle channels, as big as that niche is, there's the ones that focus on like seasonal topics, but then there's also the ones that kind of all do similar challenges. One channel will do it with a lot of success, and then everyone else will kind of do their version of it. I'm sure you've seen stuff like that before. Have you ever heard of the term recency bias? Because that happens on YouTube all the time. YouTube likes to recommend things that are relevant right now. When viewers are at their most curious about something, that is when they're spending the most time on these types of platforms, and so you can absolutely be benefiting from that by jumping on trends whenever possible. But I want to make it clear, this is not about hacking. If you build audience trust, you build algorithm trust. This works in two ways. Audience trust happens when your viewers start to understand that when you upload a video, when they see your title and your thumbnail, they know it is worth their time and they are more likely to click on it. That trust is of course built over time as you upload more videos, but if you break that trust by trying out maybe a clickbaity thumbnail or a misleading title or a low effort upload that people don't watch as much, the algorithm's gonna notice. And that brings us to algorithmic trust. YouTube doesn't like or hate any creators. It's just a tool that's following audience behavior. So if people consistently click on your videos and they seem to be satisfied by those videos, you're trustworthy as far as the algorithm is concerned. Oh, by the way, speaking of titles and thumbnails, if you'll indulge me for a second, I wanted to show you something kind of cool. We actually just updated our thumbnail preview tool, and I'm just going to show you on this recent video I posted. If you click thumbnail preview, and this can work while you're uploading the video too, you can actually test out different titles and thumbnails on YouTube without actually uploading to YouTube, which is really, really cool. So for example, I could have my thumbnail here, but I could think, oh, well, maybe it doesn't look super good compared to some of the other thumbnails I'm seeing on the YouTube homepage right now. So I could just try a different thumbnail. We'll try this one with my face, and now I can swap between the two and decide for myself if one kind of looks better and is standing out more than others. I can also mess with the titles as well, and maybe I feel like YouTube versus Instagram, who actually pays creators, is a bit long, so I can add another one, just YouTube versus Instagram. And then, of course, easily switch between the two, or you can add as many titles as you want to try. You can even see this in different settings. We're on the home feed right now, but we can see how it looks in search when the thumbnails are larger, or we can see how it looks in suggested when the thumbnails get a little bit smaller. I'm going to do a full deep dive on this tool on the channel here pretty soon, so just be on the lookout for that. Basically, on when you're watching this, it might already be up. But this has been one of my favorite tools, and I'm really glad it finally got an update. The link is down below, but what I was about to say is that when it comes to audience trust, algorithm trust, and everything I just talked about a little while ago, you don't have to be the most polished, perfect creator ever. You don't have to have the very best titles and thumbnails. For an example of this, we can look at Sean Overton. He purchased 320 acres of land in the remote West Texas desert and documented his journey to transform it into a place where he could actually live, a place that was habitable. Over just a few weeks, his first video went viral and he gained tens of thousands of subscribers seemingly overnight. Why did this work? Well, it wasn't fancy editing or flashy tricks or algorithm hacks. It was just authenticity. John didn't pretend like he had all the answers. In fact, he even said, I don't know what I'm doing. He filmed himself figuring it out, struggling, learning from his mistakes, and being honest about his setbacks. That type of emotional, real connection isn't something that can be manufactured. That's why people always tell you on YouTube to be yourself. And if you can do that, then YouTube will recommend your videos. So if you want YouTube to keep recommending your videos, then maybe you click on this video next, which is about 24 good habits for complete beginners on YouTube. I feel like this will have a lot of the fundamentals for anybody who's just kind of getting started.